Bugungi darsimizda siz bilan Cambridge 8 test 1 passage 2 analizini ko'rib chiqamiz va birinchi navbatda bu qism nima haqida ekanligini bilib olish maqsadida titleni o'qiymiz va bu qismda o'zingiz ko'rganingizdek Air Traffic Control in the USA demak bu qismda air traffic haqida bo'lar ekan va demak airline industryga bog'liqroq topik bo'ladi va o'zingiz ko'rganingizdek bundan keyin esa savol turlarini ko'rib olishimiz kerak. List of headings demak matching heading bo'lar ekan va bu qismda B bizga kerak emas, 10 kerak emas, shuning uchun o'chirib qo'yamiz ikkalasini ham. Kerak emas. Undan keyin esa bu yana qanaqa savol turlari borligini ko'rib chiqishimiz kerak. Qanaqadir strategiyani ishlatishni ishlatish haqida qaror qabul qilish uchun true false not given savollarimiz bor. Keyin yana ko'ramiz. Va o'zingiz ko'rganingizdek bu qismda true false not given savollari tekstning ichida keladi, paragraflarda keladi. Bu qismda matching headingni bajarish paragrafning har bir qismini o'qishni talab qiladi. Ko'pchilik o'quvchilar o'sha matching headingni bajarishadi-da, tugatishadi-da, ha, bo'ldi, zo'r bo'ldi. Tamom, endi true false not given qilsam bo'ladi. Lekin buni qilsangiz o'zi kech bo'ladi. Chunki matching headingni bajarganingizcha butun tekstni o'qib olasiz, hamma narsani tugatib olasiz. Lekin men bu true false not givendagi savollardagi detallarga qarash sizni ya'ni yana bir marta energiya sarflashingizga, yana bir marta orqaga qaytishingizga yoki o'sha o'qigan narsangizni eslashingizga majbur qiladi. O'shaning natijasida sizga ko'proq vaqt ketadi, ko'proq energiya ketadi. Shuning uchun ham bu qismda biz nima qilishimiz kerak? Biz bu qismda birdaniga matchingdagi savollarni bajarib ketish bilan birgalikda true false not given savollarni ham bajarib ketishimiz kerak bo'ladi. Keyin shuni birgalikda qilishga harakat qilib ko'ramiz. FAA was created as a result of introduction of the jet engine. Ko'ramiz. Air traffic control started FAA after a Grand Canyon crash in 56. Beacons and flashing lights are still used by ATC today. Ko'ramiz. An accident had occurred in the skies over Grand Canyon in 56. It resulted in the establishment of Federal Aviation Administration to regulate and oversee the operation of aircraft in the skies of over the United States, which were becoming quite congested. Resulting structure of air traffic control had greatly increased safety of flight in the United States, and similar air traffic control procedures are also in place over much of the rest of the world. FAA jet engine introduction of jet engine emas, bu false bo'ladi. FAA wasn't created as a result of introduction of jet engine. FAA was created as a result of Grand Canyon accident to regulate and oversee the operations. Demak bu qism javob shu qismda bor, shuning uchun ham bu false bo'ldi. Air traffic control started after Grand Canyon crash. Air traffic control, where's air traffic here? Air traffic control existed well before Grand Canyon disaster. Demak bu qismda air traffic control bundan oldin rudimentary air traffic control existed well before the Grand Canyon disaster. Grand Canyondagi disasterdan oldin bo'lgan, mavjud bo'lgan bu air traffic control. Shuning uchun ham buni yana false olamiz. Xo'p, demak qismda a'ni javobini topib olishimiz kerak bu qismda ham. Xo'p, nima bo'ldi bu haqida? Accident va FAA. Disobeying FAA haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Aviation disaster prompt action haqida ma'lumot bor. Chunki aviation disaster bo'ladi, o'sha portlab ketadi, uning natijasida bo'ldi, boshqa qilmasak bo'lmas ekan dedi odamlar, o'sha ishga qo'l urishadi. Shuning uchun ham ikkini bajaramiz bu qismda. Ikkini olishga qaror qildik. Keyingisiga o'tamiz. Demak, bu qismda C'ni o'qiymiz, chunki B'ni ham C'ni ham o'qiymiz. Birinchi C'ni o'qiyman, keyin B'ni o'qiyman, chunki B'da true false not given uchun javoblarimiz bo'lishi aniq. C. In the 40s, ATC centers could and did take advantage of the newly developed radar and improved radio communication brought about by the Second World War. But the system remained rudimentary. It was only after the creation of FAA that full-scale regulation of American airspace took place. This was fortuitous, for the advent of the jet engine suddenly resulted in a large number of very fast lanes, reducing pilots' margin of error, practically demanding some of the set of rules to keep everyone well separated, operating safely in the air. Demak, shunda 40-yillarda ATC'ni radar va improved radio communicationdan foydalanganligi, FAA'ni paydo bo'lishi natijasida full scale regulation bo'lganligi, undan keyin jet engine ko'payganligi, o'sha paydo bo'lganligi natijasida bu yaxshi narsa bo'lganligi haqida ma'lumot berilgan. Two coincidental developments. Maybe. No, I don't know. Settling the altitude zones haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Oversimplified view haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Controlling balance license haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Defining airspace categories haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Setting rules weather conditions haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Taking off safety haqida ma'lumot yo'q. First steps towards ACT haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Demak, qismda two coincidental development haqida ma'lumot olishimiz mumkin, chunki jet engine certainly resulted, advent of jet engine mavsumda radar and improved radio communication, Second World War shu narsalarni olishimiz mumkin yoki an'ana olishimiz mumkin bu qismda. Grand Canyon disaster olishimiz mumkin bu qismda misol qilib. Shuning uchun 3 ni olamiz. Balki xatodir, balki xato emasdir, ko'ramiz. Xo'p, endi men turfosnot keyinda savollarga javob berib olishim kerak. Xo'p, beacons and flashing lights are still used by ATC today. Some improvements were made in radio communication during World War II. Xo'p, men bu haqida ma'lumot bor, shuning uchun ham buni not given deb olaman. Beacon and flashing light still in use haqida ma'lumot berilmagan yoki ma'lumot bordir, ko'ramiz. Beacon flashing lights. Where is beacon flashing light? No, ma'lumot bo'lish kerak-da bu javob. As 20s the earliest traffic manually guided aircraft in the vicinity of airports using the lights and flags, while beacons and flashing lights were placed along control roads to establish the earliest highways. However, this purely visual system was useless in the bad user. Radio communication was coming into use. The first region to have something approximately. Hold on. While beacons of flashing lights were placed along coast control roads to establish the earliest airways, however, this purely visual system was useless in bad weather. By 30s, radio communication was coming into use for ATC. The first region to have something approximating today's ACT was New York City, with other major metropolitan areas following soon after. Demak, qismda o'zingiz ko'rganingizdek, ma'lumot yo'q. Hozir still in use today degan ma'lumot yo'qligi uchun not given oldik. Some improvements were made into radio communication. Xo'p, advantage of the newly developed radar and improved radio communication ma'lumoti bor. O'zingiz ko'rganingizdek, shuning uchun ham buni true deb olamiz. Nega rangni o'zgartirmasak bo'lmaydi. Xo'p, demak bu qismni topdik. C'ni javobini ham berdik shekilli. D'ni olamiz endi. Class F airspace is airspace which is below this and not near airports. Xo'p, qismda class F haqida ma'lumot yo'q. All aircraft in class E airspace must use IFR. Pilot entering class C airspace is flying over average size city. Xo'p, many people think that ATC consists of a row of controllers sitting in front of their radar screens at the nation's airport, telling arriving and departing traffic what to do. It's a very incomplete part of the picture. I realized that airspace over the United States would at any time have many different kinds of planes flying for many different purposes in a variety of weather conditions, and the same kind of structure was needed to accommodate all of them. Tushunarli. Oversimplified view haqida ma'lumot bor, chunki bu yerda yozilgan. Sen unaqa kontrollerlar shunaqa qil, qo'n, o'ch deb o'ylaysan, lekin unaqa emas. Bu incomplete oversimplified view degan ma'lumot bor, shuning uchun ham buni 5 olamiz. Oversimplified view bilan incomplete part of the picture bu qismda keywordlar. Keyingiga o'tamiz. Hope, Dini tugatdik. To meet this challenge, following elements were put into effect. First, ATC extends over virtually the entire United States. In general, from 355 above the ground or higher, the entire country is blanketed by controlled airspace. In certain areas, mainly near airport, controlled airspace extends down to this above the ground, and in the immediate vicinity of airport, all the way down to the surface. Controlled airspace is that airspace in which regulations apply. Elsewhere in controlled airspace, pilots are bound by fewer regulations. In this way, recreational pilot who simply wishes to go flying for a while without all the restrictions imposed by FAA only to stay in controlled airspace below 365, while the pilot who doesn't want the protection afforded by can easily enter the controlled airspace. Tushunarli. Taking on setting rules, defining airspace categories. Defining airspace categories bo'ladi bu. Kategoriyalari. Airspace, controlled airspace, uncontrolled airspace. 7 bo'ladi bu. Keyingiga ketamiz. FAA will then recognize 2 types of operating environments. In good meteorological condition, flying would be permitted. under visual flight rules, which suggest a strong reliance on visual cues to maintain an acceptable level of safety. Poor visibility necessities are a set of instrumental rules under which the pilot relies on altitude and navigational information provided by the plane's instrument panel to fly safely. On a clear day, a pilot in controlled airspace can choose a flight plan where devised in a way which can accommodate both operations in the same airspace. However, a pilot can only choose to fly if they possess an instrument rating which is above and beyond the basic pilot license. What is it? Defining airspace categories. Bu kategoriya emasda, aerospace kategoriya, airspace kategoriya emasda bu operating environment bu. Control balance license no, oversimplified ishlatib bo'ldik. Come on. Disobeying haqida o'qimadik, settling altitude zones. Altitude zones. Controlling balance, taking off safely. Setting rules to weather conditions. Weather conditions bo'ladi bu. Meteorological conditions, no good meteorological conditions demoqchimda 8 qalab qolaylik shuni. G. Controlled airspace is divided into several different types, designed by letters on alphabet, and controlled space is designated class F, while controlled airspace below sea level not in the vicinity of airport class C. Wow. Demek bu classification bo'lsa kerak. Airspace categories bo'lar ekan bu, menimcha. Bu 7 bo'lar ekan. Xo'p, bu 7 bo'ladigan bo'lsa, mana bu nima bo'ladi? I nima bo'ladi? Shu savol bizani qiynaydi. I nima bo'ladi, balki doktorlar? I g'alati bo'lib qoldi-ku, bu 7 bo'lmaydigan bo'lsa. Nima bo'lar ekan bu I? Xo'p, I nima haqida? Hop. Altitude zones. Maybe altitude zones bo'lsa kerak bu setting altitude zones. Nima qilamiz bunda? G'alati bo'lib qoldi-ku. Nima qilish bilmay qoldim men. Nima qilamiz? Setting altitude zones maybe. Yep. Setting altitude zones ga to'g'ri kerak. Mana 215 metr, 315 metr bir narsalar qilib tashlagan. O'shani belgilaylik. To'g'ri belgilab qolaylik shunga. To'g'ri bo'la qolsin. Mayli, chiziqlik. Setting altitude zones bo'ldi. Shu bilan bu qism o'z nihoyasiga yetdi. Hamma savollardan javoblarini nima uchun bu javoblarni olganligimizni tushundinglar deb umid qilamiz. To'g'risi men javoblarni bilmayman ham. To'g'risi to'g'ri chiqdi, xato chiqdi. Hozir bir marta bugun tekshirib ko'rarman balki, agar unaqa eksperiment sifatida tekshirib ko'rishim mumkin. Ko'ramiz. That's it. Xo'p, bo'ldi. Shu bilan o'z nihoyasiga yetadi. Mana bu uchalasini tayyorlaganimizdan keyin bo'ldi. Xo'p, bu faqat G'da yozilgan. Class F airspace is below not near airports. Control airspace design. Controlled airspace. Demak, uncontrolled airspace topish kerak. 365 mana qismda. Hop, from above the ground level entered uncontrolled airspace. Also, uncontrolled airspace are bound by few regulations. Hop in uncontrolled airspace from this right, it's correct, so it's true. Bu ko'rganingizdek xitrlik qilibdi bular. Class F ni tushunish uchun, masalan, class F dagi javoblarni tushunish uchun ikkita qismdagi ma'lumotni biz analiz qilib taqqoslashimiz kerak, tushunishimiz kerak. All aircrafts in class E airspace must IRF class Class A, all operators are IRF, plus must be instrument rated, skilled in license because ST control. Xo'p, demak, difference between class A and class A. Class A da IRF bo'yicha operate qilar ekan, demak bu qismda class bu degani class E IRF bo'yicha operate qilmaydi degani, bu false. Keyingisini o'tamiz. A pilot entering class C airspace is flying over every size city. City airports, small municipal, medium-sized metropolitan, major airports respectively. Shuni notga olib qolsak kerak menimcha. Bo'ldi, direktor notga olib qo'raman. Chunki notga ko'p bo'lmadi. Notga. Endi men tekshiraman javoblarimni. Birinchi marta bo'lyapti bu. O'sha masalan 100 ta video olgan bo'lsam, birinchi marta javoblarni tekshirayman. Qani ko'ramiz. Air traffic control in GOC. Xo'p, javoblarni tekshiramiz endi. Xo'p. Come on. Xo'p, javoblarni tekshirish boshlaymiz. 2, 3, 5, 4, 8, 7. Hope false, false, not given, true, true, false, true. Damn it. Oxirgisi true bo'lar ekan. Nima ekan bilmayman. Tekshirmanda, qaramadim-da, ko'rmadim-da. Ish yo'qmas. Bor qara endi top. Odam bo'lmagan. Establish two-way contact, no export permission, ST interneted, automatically continue to obey all regulations. Xo'p, qismda class CD governs the vicinity of airports. These correspond roughly to small municipal or medium-sized metropolitan airports respectively. Yeah. Medium-sized mana. Qismda class D small municipal bo'ladi. Class C medium-sized metropolitan bo'ladi. Class B major metropolitan bo'ladi respectively deyapti. O'shanga bu true bo'ladi. Javob to'g'ri, true bo'ladi. True bo'lishini sababini ham topdik. Shu bilan o'z ko'rganingizga xato qildim bitta. Endi shundan qilar ekanmiz. Bu qismga o'zgartirish kiritar ekanmiz. Oxirida tekshirib olganim yaxshi ekan. Chunki sizlarga ham ko'rinadi, yaxshi bo'ladi, menga ham yaxshi bo'lar ekan. Chunki men xatomni tushundim, topdim. O'sha moral from this story is dangasalik qilmanglar, oxirigacha ishlanglar, anan ko'rdinglar, masalan not kelib qoldim. Men not kelib bo'lsa kerak dedim. Lekin not kelib bo'lmabdi, to'g'ri true bo'libdi. O'sha uchun ham bu qismga e'tibor berishlaringizni so'rab qoladim. That's it guys. Thank you for watching. Kommentlarda biror narsa bo'lsa qoldiringlar.